भागवतम क्लास। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततः जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna. Today we continue Canto first, chapter 4, the appearance of Narada, shloka number 7, 8, and 9. कथं वा पाण्डवेयस्य
कथं वा पाण्डवेयस्य
राजर्षेः मुनिना सह
राजर्षेः मुनिना सह
संवादः समभूतात्
संवादः सम्भूतत्तात्
यत्र यत्र यशा सात्वती श्रुतिः
यत्र एषा सात्वती श्रुतिः
स गोदोहनमात्रं हि
स गोदोहनमात्रं हि
गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम्
गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम्
अवेक्षते महाभागः भागः
अवेक्षते महाभाग
तीर्थीकुर्वं
तत् आश्रमम् तीर्थी कुर्वं तत् आश्रमम्
तत्तमं सुतं सुत
अभिमन्युसुतं सूत
प्राह भागवत उत्तमम्
प्राह भागवत
प्राहु
उत्तमम्
है तस्य जन्म महाश्चर्यम्
तस्य जन्म महा आश्चर्यम्
कर्माणि
कर्माणि च गृणीः नः
कथं वा पाण्डवेयस्य
कथं वा पाण्डवेय अस्य
राजर्षे मुनिना सह
राजऋषेः मुनिना सह
समभूततात
संवादः सम्भूतत्तातः
यत्र एषा सात्वती श्रुतिः
यत्र एषा सात्वती श्रुतिः
स गोदोहनमात्रं हि
स गोदोहनमात्रं हि
गृहेषु गृहमेधीनाम्
गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम्
अवेक्षते महाभागः
अवेक्षते महाभाग
तीर्थीकुर्वन्
तीर्थी कुर्वं तथाश्रमम्
अभिमन्युसुतं सुत
अभिमन्युसुतं सूत
प्राहुः भागवत उत्तमम्
प्राहुः भागवत उत्तमम्
तस्य जन्म महा आश्चर्यम्
तस्य जन्म महा आश्चर्यम्
कर्माणि च गृणीहीनः
कर्माणि च गृणीः नः
कथं वा पाण्डवेस्य राजऋषे मुनिना सह संवादः समभूततात यत्र एषा सात्वती श्रुतिः सह गोदोहनमात्रं हि गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम् अवेक्षते महाभाग तीर्थीकुर्वन् तदा आश्रमम् अभिमन्युसुतं सूत प्राहु भागवत उत्तमम् तस्य जन्म महा आश्चर्यम् कर्माणि न गृणीहीन। प्लीज रीड।
कथं वा पाण्डवे अस्य राजर्षेः मुनिना सह संवादः सम्भूततात यत्र एषा सात्वती श्रुति स गोदोहनमात्रं हि गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम् अवेक्ष्यति महाभाग तीर्थी कुर्वं तथाश्रमम्
Bhagavad.
अभिमन्युसुतं सूत प्राहुः भागवत उत्तमं तस्य जन्म महाश्चर्यं कर्माणि च गृणीनः। पूनम माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। अ, कथं वा पाण्डेयस्य पाण्डवेस्य पाण्डवेयस्य राजेर्षि राजेश्री मुनिना सह संवादः सम्भूतात् यत्रेषा सात्वती श्रुतिः सा गोदोहान् मात्रं हि ग्रहेषु गृहमेधिनाम् अवेक्षते महाभागस्तीर्थी कुर्वं तद आश्रमम् अभिमन्यु सुतं सूत प्राहुर्भागवोत्तमम् तस्य जन्म महाश्चर्यं कर्माणि च गृह्णीनः।
मृण्मयी माता जी।
Okay, Pranita. कथं वा पाण्डवेयस्य राजर्षिमुनिना सह संवादः सम्भूतात् यत्रैषा सात्वती श्रुतिः स गोदोहनं मात्रं हि गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम् अवेक्षते महाभागस्तीर्थी कुर्वस्तदाश्रमम् अभिमन्युसुतं सूत प्राहर्भागवतोत्तमम् तस्य जन्म महाश्चर्यं कर्माणि च गृह्णीनः।
हरि बोल। नेक्स्ट you
Translation
can read it.
purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. How did it so happen that King Parikshit met this great sage, making it possible for his great transcendental essence of the Vedas, Bhagwatam? He, Śukadeva Gosvāmī, was accustomed to stay at the door of a householder only long enough for a cow with milk, and he did this just to sanctify the resident. It is said that Maharaj Parikshit is a great first-class devotee of the Lord, and that his birth and activities are all wonderful. Please tell us about him. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is stated here as the essence of the Vedas. It is not an imaginary story as it is sometimes considered by unauthorized name. It is also called Śuka-saṁhitā or the Vedic hymns spoken by Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī, the great liberated sage. Gosvāmī met Emperor Parikshit and explained the text of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. He was not accustomed to stay at any householder's residence for more than half an hour at the time of milking the cow, and he would just take from the first householder that was sanctified the residence by his auspicious presence. Therefore, Śukadeva Gosvāmī is an ideal preacher established in the transcendental. From his activities, those who are in the renounced order of life and dedicated to the mission of preaching the message of Godhead should learn that they have no business with householders save and except to enlighten them in transcendental knowledge. Such asking for from the householder should be for the purpose of sanctifying his home. One who is in the renounced order of life should not be allured by the glamour of the householder's worldly possessions and thus become subservient to worldly men. For one who is in the renounced order of life, this is much more dangerous than drinking poison and committing suicide. The birth of Maharaj Parikshit is wonderful because in the womb of his mother, he was protected by personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. His activities are also wonderful because he chastised Kali, who was attempting to kill a cow. To kill cows means to end human civilization. He wanted to protect the cow from being killed by the great representative of sin. His death is also wonderful because he got previous notice of his death. which is wonderful for immortal being, as he prepared himself for passing away by sitting down on the bank of the Ganges and hearing the transcendental activities of the Lord. During all the days he heard Bhagavatam, he did not take food or drink, nor did he sleep a moment. So everything about him is wonderful, and his activities are worth hearing attentively. The desire is expressed herein to hear about him in detail. Hare Krishna. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam tam sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha Namo Om Viṣṇu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Today we continuing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 4, the appearance of the Sri Narada. We try to understand from Shloka number 7, 8 and 9. Here they giving about the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam of the essence of the Vedas. How the Bhagavatam is the essence of the Vedas, and to whom is spoken by this Bhagwatam. Then Śukadeva Gosvāmī's qualities are described here. Why and how they to stay the to stay the door of the door of the householders. And then the shloka number 9, here they giving the about the Parikshit Maharaj, how his birth and how his death also wonderful, and that about birth and death Śukadeva Gosvāmī's which tell to Parikshit Maharaj here in Naimisharanya, all 88,000 added by Shaunaka, asking to Sutta Goswami, please tell us about that. That is describing here. Prabhuji will told us in detail. Hare Krishna.
So basically what we are covering today is two aspects of how, again, a small revision, some additional facts of how Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the best amongst everything, then about sannyasa, and then how everything about Parikshit Maharaj has always been better than the best. So we see that this Bhagavatam, it is the essence of Vedas. It was never an imaginary story, though people sometimes consider it, because practically it is something which is spoken by Śukadeva Gosvāmī, who is a liberated sage, and that is why Bhagavatam is also called as Śuka-saṁhitā. Now if you see, even Lord Shiva explains this. So this shlok comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 24th chapter. Aham vedami shuko vetti vyaso vetti na vetti va Bhaktya Bhagavatam Grahyam na Buddhya na Chaktikaya. So Lord Shiva said, I may know. Shukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasdev, may know. And Vyasdev may or may not know the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. On the whole, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the spotless Purāṇa, can be learned only through devotional service, not by material intelligence, speculative methods, or imaginary commentaries. So just see, only devotional service, which includes the 9 processes, which starts with Shravanam, hearing, chanting, remembering activities of Krishna. So only one who has taken to devotional service can understand Bhagavatam, which is spotless Purāṇa, for a transcendentalists, that is Paramahamsas. So whatever other commentaries, they are useless. In fact, the Vedas say, Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha guru. So all Vedic literatures maintain that Bhagavatam has to be learned from the person Bhagavat, and to understand it, one has to engage in pure devotional service. It cannot be understood from any other scholars or grammarians. One who has developed pure Krishna consciousness, has served pure devotees, the spiritual master, only he can understand Bhagavatam and others cannot. Now, Shukadeva Goswami ji, being a sannyasi, was not accustomed to stay at any householder's residence for more than an hour. That is, it takes around an hour to milk the cow. And that also he would take hours from the fortunate householder. The reason? So that the one who is there, his house becomes sanctified. Now, same Shukadeva Goswami is going to stay 7 days at one place. Just look at it. So Shukadeva Goswami in his earlier life has taught us how an ideal preacher should be. So those who are in renounced order of life and dedicated to mission of preaching should learn that there should be no business with householders except to enlighten them in transcendental knowledge. So one who is in sannyasa should not be allured by the glamour of householders' worldly position. If someone is becoming it, someone is becoming subservient to worldly men, then this is more dangerous than drinking poison or even suicide. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita 2.15, Krishna says, Yam hina vyathayanti ete purusham purusharushava samadukha sukham dhiram so amrutatva kalpate. Who best among men? The person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. So anyone who is steady in determination for the advanced stage of spiritual realization and equally tolerate distress as well as happiness is someone who is eligible for liberation. Now, this 4th stage of life in Varnashram system is the renounced order, that is sannyasa. It is a painstaking situation, but one who is serious about making his life perfect surely adopts the sannyasa order of life in spite of all difficulties. Because the difficulties arise when one has to sever family relationships, to give up connections of wife and children. But if one is able to tolerate such difficulties, then the path to self-realization is complete. And that is why these 4 ashramas are very, very important in life. In fact, regarding sannyasa ashram or sannyas, there are multiple verses which refer to it in Bhagavad Gita, especially in the 18th canto, which is important. Like Arjuna asked in the first shloka itself, that, oh Krishna, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, that is Tyag, and of the renounced order of life, sannyasa. So Keshihanta, oh Rishikesh, he addresses him both ways, that in that shloka, please make me understand. And in response, Krishna immediately says, the giving of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned male call the renounced order of life. And giving up the results of all activities is what wise call renunciation. So see, very simple definitions immediately Krishna gives. So if you are giving up activities on material platform, then it is sannyasa. And when you give up results of all activities, even spiritual activities, then it is renunciation or tyaga. In the 3rd shloka, Krishna says that some learned men declare that all kinds of fructive activities should be given up as faulty. Yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. So see, for sannyasa, again, two activities. Some say that everything has to be given up. And some say that sacrifice, that is yajna, charity, and tapa, penance, should not be abandoned. And that is why you will see that Prabhupada has, over a period of time, explained that it is not only sannyasa when you give up everything. He says that even a householder life can be sannyasa. Because immediately next shloka, Krishna explains it to Arjuna. O best of the Bharat, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds. Three kinds of renunciation is what Krishna explains. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. Krishna says this in 18.5. And then he additionally explains that all these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. That is my opinion. So Krishna is telling us now that when we do all these as duty, then it is not going to cause bandhana. Prescribed duty should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in mode of ignorance. Very clear instruction from Krishna. Krishna additionally makes us understand that anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. And such action never leads to elevation of renunciation. So what should we do? Krishna explains that also. O Arjun, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and all attachments to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in mode of goodness. The intelligent renunciate, situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work. In fact, it is impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities, but he who renounces the fruits of action is called truly renounced. So these first 11 shlokas of 18th chapter give us complete direction of what is to be done. And that is what we have learned from Śukadeva Gosvāmī. And all this because of Parikshit Maharaj. Now, Parikshit Maharaj, if you see, everything about him is wonderful. His birth is wonderful because in the womb of his mother, he was protected by personality of God, Shri Krishna. And that is why he was always trying to see where is he, where is he. So the name Parikshit. His activities are also wonderful because he chastised Kali, who was attempting to kill a cow. Now, Gohatya is one of the biggest sin. Gohatya is equivalent to Nasha of human civilization, is what the Shastras say. So Kali Maharaj, his activities are wonderful because he chastised Kali. His death is also wonderful because he got previous notice of his death. Otherwise, generally, death is something Kalo Aham, Kalo Asmi, is what Krishna declares. And it always comes unannounced. But for him, it was clearly told the timelines. And so he could prepare himself for passing away by sitting on the banks of Ganges and hearing the transcendental activities of Lord. So his death is wonderful. So birth, activities, death, not only that, look at what he did in the last 7 days. He heard Bhagwatam, he did not take food or drink, he did not sleep. So everything is wonderful. And his activities of worth hearing attentively. And that is why we need to follow them. When we bring in even some minute percentage of these qualities, we can become purified. So the essence of these three shlokas that we have seen today is practical instructions for us on what we have to do. First and foremost, Bhagwatam, its study, very, very important. And study not by self, but with the help of Guru Parampara. So whatever Prabhupada ji has taught, it's always in Guru Parampara. Whatever Guru Maharaj has learned from Prabhupada ji, it's in Parampara. Whatever Guru Maharaj is saying, it's in Parampara. Whatever anyone who is a disciple of Guru Maharaj, of Srila Prabhupada, they are repeating as it is, verbatim. That is worth hearing. Because then they are representing Śukadeva Gosvāmī. They are not creating their own interpretations of any form. So we need to understand. And that is why this question was asked. How did it happen that King Parikshit met the Śukadeva Gosvāmī ji? Because if they two had not met, this whole thing would not have happened. So the sages wanted to know it. And they knew about Śukadeva Gosvāmī that he never stayed. That he was accustomed to stay at the door of a householder only long enough for a cow to be milked. And that also to sanctify the residence. Then how is it that he spoke so much of Bhagavad Gita at one stage? It would not have happened in one way. So why? That becomes a question. And then the sages, they also want to understand more about Parikshit Maharaj. So they tell him that how Parikshit Maharaj is a first class devotee of the Lord. Bhagavata Uttamam. That is what Parikshit Maharaj is told, what is known as. And so they say that his birth activities, they are all wonderful. Mahasharyam. So please tell us about him. So see, after the first 6 questions, now this next set of questions is coming, which are actually delving more. So they're drilling down more. They want to learn more. Because they know that if they hear more, there will be more purification. And more purification means more opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead after preaching Krishna. And that is what the sages have been doing. And the other intention definitely is they knew that the effect of Kali is going to increase in future. So let us ask questions whose answers may help to people in the coming period, in the coming years, in future, to overcome this stage of bondage with the material world. So there are multiple objectives for these questions coming in. And when we are driving it, drilling it down, we understand how it is also making us understand that yes, sannyasa does not mean change of clothes. It's a lifestyle. Even as a householder, we can be in a stage of sannyasa. So that is what we have to develop. And when we start listening about Parikshit Maharaj more and more, it is at that time that we'll become better, we'll feel better, and we'll be able to get the real essence of life and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.